Now, here to talk more Twins baseball, we have none other than CCO Radio's Henry Lake. Henry, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I can't complain. You're here. The weather's nice. You're smelling good, so everything's good right now.
Everybody's loving the cologne game right now.
You got your smelling right now. It smells phenomenal at home. All right, now I'm not going to talk about your smell anymore. I'm going to talk about the Twins. Their success this year, or lack thereof, 49-30 right now. Excuse me, 40-39 on the season right now. I know coming into the year, a lot of people talked about their starting rotation, but that hasn't been the problem thus far.
Yeah, you know, typically when we talk about Twins baseball, for the most part, it's one of those situations where you're like, we never invest in starting pitching, right? This time around, you go ahead and make the trade. Luis Arraez, I know we're up in our feelings about that. We get Pablo Lopez, Sonny Gray comes back. It's just one of those situations where the starting rotation has been what you've been hanging your hat on. And that's been phenomenal in terms of from start to finish to this particular point. It's been the other areas of the team where you thought you'd be so much better off where we just have fallen flat.
Well, we're going to get to those other areas of the team, but so far Joe Ryan just had a really quality start the other day. Then you're talking about Ober earlier today. This bullpen is doing what they need to do, but then you talk about the rest of the team. Byron Buxton, this is a guy that we anticipated being the starting outfielder, crashing up against walls, trying to save his body, at least for the most part. And Rocco Baldelli is saying that we may not see him in the outfield for quite some time. Yeah,
and I think that that is a cause for concern because you signed him to a big money contract. And Rocco came out earlier this week and stated that, look, realistically, he can't go out there right now. He cannot go out there and defensively play the position. So if you're a Twins fan, you should be a little bit concerned about that. But most importantly, you should be concerned about his bat. Now, he is starting to warm up a little bit, looked a little bit better here on the homestand that they just finished up. So hopefully he's starting to turn the page.
I will say 77 strikeouts and, you know, 218 at-bats is not a real good stat line for Mr. Buxton.
But I think that the Twins, realistically, across the board, strikeout city.
They do strike out quite a bit. Now, Royce Lewis, this is a guy who's been doing really, really well since coming back off the injured list. Clutch hit after clutch hit after clutch hit. Can you talk about what he's done to this offense as of late?
I think he's actually been a shot in the arm for the Twins organization, and I think what he has done so far has really uplifted the fan base, because I think the fan base we've been all up in our feelings about the strikeouts. We've been in our feelings about just the fact that this offense has been, you know, non-existent for a good portion of the season, and the starting rotation really not having them to rely on. But Royce Lewis is somebody that we anticipated coming back. He's been back and he's looked good.
You said if the Twins want to make that next step, there's one sleeper on the team that everybody needs to pay attention to. Who is that?
It's Jorge Polanco. Jorge Polanco, I think, is the guy that I wouldn't call him necessarily the MVP of the team, but he's somebody that I think that we underappreciate. Jorge Polanco, when he's healthy, he's been looking really good for this team this year, but it's, you know, it doesn't matter if you're not healthy or not, right? Like, you got to be on the field.
And one area you talked about that the team needs to improve on drastically that you didn't touch on earlier is the bullpen. And the Twins relievers, they rank 15th with a 3.92 earned run average, but their problem has been protecting leads. The bullpen ranks 2nd with 12 losses, and their 11th blown saves are also tied with the Cleveland Guardians and St. Louis Cardinals. That's not good company right now.
Yeah, and, you know, I'm wishing the best for Jorge Lopez. I know he's been out with the mental health list and stuff like that, whatever, but he's not been good. You know, he wasn't good when we acquired him last year, and he struggled all season long this year. Throw in Emilio Pagan. Emilio Pagan has not been very good. I think that he's somebody that he has to look in the mirror and acknowledge that he hasn't been very good. Last year, there was I think later in the season, there was a moment where he said, well, you know what, other than two of my appearances, I've been pretty good. No, you weren't. So let's stop out of the, get out of the being disillusioned, and let's get on the page of being a good bullpen arm.
So let me ask you this question. Should the Twins be buyers or sellers when the trade deadline approaches? Because as Rocco Baldelli says, they have the talent. They just haven't pieced everything together.
I mean, they could use somebody in the bullpen.
For sure.
I mean, the starting rotations looked really good. I do like the guys' development in terms of a Louis Varland, in terms of a Joe Ryan, a Bailey Ober. We've done a pretty good job of that. And that's not typically what the Minnesota Twins have done in previous years. But, yeah, I guess we could add an arm in the bullpen. But Brock Stewart, I want to give him some props because he's been a pleasant surprise.
Well, that's Henry Lake on the Twins, but we have much more coming when we return.